Where my bass at? What's up, Alphas?
What's good, world family? It's your boy Unico Williams, and this is another episode of Keep It 99, coming at you as we always love to do. Zell, mate, how you doing, brother? We got a lot to talk about today. How you doing today?
I'm blessed, highly favored, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy.
I just want to start today off. Honestly, I'm looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. I took the beard down. Listeners, go on YouTube to go check out how I look. Overall 99 Media on YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe all the videos. I love when y'all do that. It's so cute. I like the little noise that it makes. It goes bzz, bzz. But that's what I'm looking like right now. Also, appreciate everybody that's listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We love when y'all do that. We really do appreciate that. And, we filmed this a little late today because I was out hobnobbing. So I was hobnobbing with Jada.
Jada Neves out here. Little baby gonna fight you, Joe, but let's go with it. I like it.
Fair enough. Speaking of fights, let's get into the first. People are fighting for a position on the football field, and we got our first good NFL action in a while. I don't even think we had we did have preseason last year. No, we didn't. We didn't have a preseason last year because COVID, because Tom Brady couldn't throw in the park and stuff. So it was a really crazy offseason last year. We didn't know what we were getting, and then we got what we got, which was Chiefs versus Buccaneers, which is fine. But here we are, a new season, people trying to get a job to see who can help the next team or win the Super Bowl, the next Super Bowl winner. I wasn't looking forward to much with this preseason. I was just looking for these rookie quarterbacks. That's what I was looking for. Back in the day, I would have, Reggie Bush to look forward to. I can't wait to see what you do. Marcus Vick, I know you got in trouble for stomping on that boy, but shoot, they picked you in the third round. Shout out to the Dolphins, but maybe you'll be a great quarterback too. I thought you were a better passer than your brother, but that didn't happen. There were so many storylines coming up in, the mid 2000s, late 2000s. And then in this past decade, just a lot of different great things to watch for. But the pandemic made it so weird for us because we didn't get to watch a lot of people play a lot of football. So for instance, my Ohio State Buckeyes, there was a couple games they couldn't play. Northwestern got sick one time, so they couldn't do that, and they didn't reschedule. There was a lot going on, but Ohio State still made it to the playoffs. Some people say they shouldn't because they didn't play as many. Shout out to the SEC. They don't fail because we all know that even if you've heard in the news that the Texas Congress has been like, hey, what's COVID? You cannot put a mandate on these people anymore. We're done with it. That's what Texas does. That's what SEC country does. Texas is now part of SEC. But anyway, the South, they let us watch every game for the most part. That being said, we got a glimpse, at least this year, of what some of these people could do. So going back to my Ohio State angle, I was excited to see Justin Fields play in pro style against pro speed, and he did not disappoint. But there was a lot of different ones, like what's that boy name is? Mac Jones from Alabama. You got Trey Lance. He ended up going to San Francisco. We didn't know much about him because he went to Utah or something like that. So we got there's a lot to watch. Zach Wilson for the Jets. I don't even think he signed his. Did he sign his contract yet?
Yeah, he signed. He's the last one to sign.
Okay. So and the funny part is, everybody was thinking about Trevor Lawrence, the overall number one pick, but I didn't care. So, who are you watching the most and why? I told you I told you why I'm watching one of these people. I am a Buckeye fan, and I like Justin Fields, and I love a good quarterback. So, we want to see them succeed. I got a feeling because I know how you are. You are on board with one of two people in the NFL, and correct me if I'm wrong, and please go in on me, chat and all the people in all our comments, leave in the comments. If I was wrong, laugh at me. It's okay. But I think I know Zelmay enough to know that either he's looking for Mac Jones or he's checking for Trevor Lawrence. So go ahead, man. What you been watching for this preseason? What you looking
Why
for?
would I pick them? I was
Because you love Nick Saban and you love the fact that he gets the respect that he deserves by getting called Coach Saban. And no, go ahead and go with your point, man. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Yo, Nick Saban really win all the time though. You can't deny it. But let's talk about the person I was looking forward to. I had to see him. I had to go look. If you watch Monday Morning Quarterback, you know who the first one up was. Timothy Tebow at tight end. And if he was gonna block, and I broke down the block now. I said it wasn't even a good block, but he did what he's supposed to do. Wasn't a good block at all. He even leaned with his wrong shoulder. If you're blocking and you're going that way, you never lean with this shoulder. I didn't mention that, so I had to mention it today. That's why he fell. If anyone knows why on that play, that viral play, watch the play again yesterday, he fell because he went this way and blocked like this, with his wrong shoulder. He blocked that shoulder so you could stay up, but
he essentially turned his back to the defense
and then fell and really didn't even block the dude. The dude was just going the wrong way. He dropped his shoulder and fell, and the dude was like, huh? And then took off chasing
it. See, that's what happens when people do stuff and they don't know what they're doing. You can put people in a position to get hurt. Because I'm sure that defensive lineman never expected anybody to ever do that to him on a football field. That is not a football move. That's not a football move that you prepare for.
It's his fault for going the wrong way. The play was clearly, you saw the footwork. That's why he third string though. But you saw his footwork was clearly going to the left. Pull back block left. That means it's a zone read play. Because when you zone read, you step your left foot back flat, boom, come at an angle, boom, trying to knock people off so that cutback lane could come, which the running back did cut back, got 6 yards off of it. And he over pursued like crazy and got into an awkward position that, like I said, Tim Tebow got in the way a little bit, and that's the minimum.
He got in the way because I believe that he still could have made that tackle if Tim Tebow had not been there at all.
He wouldn't make it. Unless that running back was trash, he could not make that tackle.
I've never seen anybody overcommit that bad before. That was pretty bad.
He overcommitted like crazy. I'm like, bro, it's a zone replay. You don't have to overcommit. But
like, did you not feel that there was no one in front of you? Like, there's nobody in front of you, so why are you still going that way? I don't understand.
But Tim Tebow could have broke that for a touchdown if he did what he was supposed to do. Over pursue, lean with your left shoulder, push him inside and make sure he can't come back a little bit. Go out there and block the dude that made the tackle. Boom, the running back could have scored. So he didn't do the right thing, but he didn't do the wrong thing either because he did the block he was supposed to block. So it was me play. Now the next play, he did the horrible block and they lost 3 yards, but nobody talked about that. That was the worst block I ever seen anybody do, but nobody talked about it. Like this dude,
he definitely got around him that time.
Yes, on this play, they ran the ball up the middle. On the very next play, Tim Tebow came off the little cut, supposed to be a lead blocker because it was a single back, and he missed the play. I'm going Monday quarterback. I'm sorry, but
yeah, his blocking was subpar.
Yes, and he was
on
wide
those two
open.
plays.
And
watch every play though.
He was.
So to be fair, I did not watch every play.
He was wide open on 2 plays, and I promise you, the receiver saw him wide open and ran and took the ball. Like my ball came out, I'm like, nope, you don't catch passes. But this ain't a Tim Tebow rip play because he did get open, so I give him credit. If you watch the video, I was totally fair. I didn't do like most of the internet who ridiculed him. I said he did what he was supposed to do. Wasn't good, but he attempted to do what he was supposed to do, and he's not really a tight end. This is a publicity stunt, so I don't expect more. I'm not gonna be overly harsh. If he was Travis Kelce, I would have been all on him that play. Like, you are a Pro Bowl tight end, sir. That block was ridiculous. No, he don't really play that position. So
I've always pegged Tim Tebow as a football player because how big he is, how physical he was playing for Florida. He'll run the ball. He makes football moves all the time. And I feel like blocking is like every person who plays football. That's like one of the first things you learn. I don't care what position you are, blocking or shedding.
What he at now is way different.
No, I'm saying, but like, no, but But I didn't see any. He did not look like a football player.
Oh yeah, but I know what you're saying. But at the same time, blocking on the inside, I played. People don't know I played tight end. For some reason, my high school football career was weird, and I'm not the old dude to bring up high school football. But when I was 148 pounds, when I was 132 pounds, I played offensive line. When I was 148 pounds, I played tight end. When I was 160 pounds, I played fullback, and when I went 185, I played running back. And by the same token, them same years, 132 I played D tackle, 148 I played D end, 160 I played linebacker, and 185 I played safety. It's complete. Like that. Does that make sense?
I just know, and no offense, but I would have loved to play against your team.
You would have loved to. I'm a headhunter. I was Sean Taylor. That's illegal now. I don't know if I could play now. I'm too physical for the football now. But back to these quarterbacks.
To give you context, Ryan Kerrigan is on my team. Just to give you context, Ryan Kerrigan was a tight end on my team.
Dante Moncrief.
Every bit of way more than 200 pounds.
I played Jamie Collins.
And as a junior in high school, I just want you to, and that's the caliber of team I played with. So to give you context,
I want to give you context.
I would have loved to play against your team.
My team, we had 10 people in 4-4, including me. So, I'm like, that's the team we built for some reason. Like, bro, everybody running. Bro, our defense, our nose guard ran a 4-4. I don't know. They just put anybody everywhere and just said sprint. All we did run sprints all day. Until we ran against Jamie Collins and that big old 400-pound team that they had, that everybody. If y'all know Jamie Collins is literally like 275-pound quarterback. It didn't make sense. That runs a 4.4 and can jump like 48 inches. Like, it didn't make sense. It was a freaking nature. That's why he won 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
We get you that. So I'm just saying, me and my boys would love to try and break records on you.
Like I said, keep going. Y'all got to do a lot of running. It's a lot of running. Y'all got to. It's a lot of running. I'm telling you, a lot of running. There's a lot of speed. You see how them Florida boys chase rabbits. That's all. And I said 4.4s. I ain't mentioned the 4.5s. We just thought that's what. Hey, we were built on speed. We went to South State with the smallest team in history.
I just want your best D tackle to go up against Brandon Franklin or Dale Lees, and let's see what that speed do for you then. So with that being said, definitely, I don't necessarily, everybody wants to jump in. This is my take. As we kind of start thinking about the season a little bit, I know preseason ain't about nothing. Actually, this game 2 is going to be what used to be the game 3 of the preseason. They cut it down to 3 games this year. So when it was 4 preseason games, game 3 was the real dress rehearsal. First team takes the field for the first half, and then they start the third, and then they let the rest of the people that's fighting to stay on the team, they give them that, and then the 4th game, it is what it is. Now it's 3. That dress rehearsal is going to be a lot of this game 2. Game 3, I don't see them doing a lot of that. I think it's trying to get those roster cuts, and then everybody gets basically a full week to prepare for the opening of kickoff. So thinking about that, it gets me to thinking, when will Justin Fields take the field? I'm going to say, based off of what I watched, aka fake Aaron Donald, fighting against Ric Flair slapping 5 people because this woman threw a drink on him. I don't want to see Justin Fields in week 1. I don't want his first NFL matchup to be against a tenacious defense like San Diego. I think that every NFL defense is tenacious, but Justin Fields has played with that line in practice, and he knows, because he did a little bit of rolling out and whatnot. That comes from you knowing that your line probably ain't that good. Andy Dalton got to eat that one up. It'll be safer because Andy Dalton knows that oh, this play is broken, let me get down. Justin Fields hasn't seen that yet. So I'm gonna watch Justin, and I that's my question is, when will he start? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it will be this season. But we gotta sit back and watch, because if the Bears start off 6-2 like they did last year, beautiful. But when they start going 3-7 or whatever they went last year to end things off, it's complicated. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the Bears. But as far as who's your favorite for the? Well, you down in Mississippi, and you know I run deep down there. Let's start with the NFC, which contains our Saints, which we hope Jameis Winston gets to start over Taysom Hill. But go ahead, who you think represents at this time the Super Bowl, or do you want to go through NFC, East, West, South, North? How do you want to do it?
We can do whichever one.
Well, let's start with the NFC South. Who wins the NFC South?
Bucks.
Tom Brady.
Yes, I don't. That team is back. Unless Jameis become that dude, the Saints the only comp to me, because Carolina's still young in that offense. You have, and the other team would be who else is that? Carolina, Atlanta, and Atlanta gonna Atlanta. Kanye gonna be in the Raptors. We gonna talk.
Just hold that thought. Hold that thought. I mean, Carolina's in a position where they're starting which I wouldn't blame them, but they're thinking about PJ. What's his name? Not PJ that's in the news for Brittany Renner. The other PJ that's in Carolina.
Her sister making fun of people right now. That his little Instagram thing. His sister's making fun of people that respond to her sister.
Wrong person. Is it PJ Ward? Something like that? Washington? PJ? Any rate, yeah. I mean, he had an excellent game against my Colts. So it's a controversy there. Like, Sam Darnold, are you that good? But everybody's giving Sam Darnold the benefit of the doubt because he played with the Jets. So that's a tough job for any rookie, especially top 5 pick. So, you know, Carolina's got a situation down there, but they got a heck of a running back, McCaffrey, that's going to help out as far as, you know, making sure that they stay competitive. They got that boy Teddy Bridgewater out of there, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like the Bucks to repeat as the NFC South champions for sure. May even get Saints as a wild card, because I do believe in Jameis Winston, and I believe in Sean Payton as well. NFC East, everybody's favorite division to argue about. Cowboys, Eagles. Who else is in that division?
Redskins and Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, and the other sorry team.
Yeah, that's bad. I can't remember who. They're not relevant.
Well, not the Redskins. Washington football team. We got to.
Oh yes, yes. Washington football team.
The football team in Washington. Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants.
Giants. New York Giants.
Yeah, exactly. Who else happened?
Barkley is back with bigger legs. Danny Dimes looking to see if he can be better than last year. I think that team is actually a pretty good team. Then Washington football team, they're actually a pretty decent team. Dallas, decent team. All of them are 8-8 teams. All of them are 8-8 like caliber teams, and only one can win. Actually, no, this is our first year with 17 games. So somebody's going to be 8. Or somebody can be 10-7 or 8 and whatever the number is, 8-9, something like that.
Division winning no 10 game. Mediocre division. Hey, the way I look at it,
they just beat up on each other. I think that's the problem. They beat up on each other and lose close games to other divisions. Like, they're not terrible teams.
No, they only win against their division. The Eagles won like 5 games and got it, and they only beat like everybody else in their division.
Yeah, last year was crazy. Like Dallas had a chance to get in, and it was just a
Dallas
lot
won
of
4 games in like week 14, and they had a chance to get in.
yeah, and it was like waiting for like somebody to lose, and they had a chance. But who's the best of the worst in your opinion?
Well, Washington won. I apologize. I said Washington won the division with that random quarterback who took it to the Bucks better than anybody else. I gotta say that. And I think
Yeah, he was a random quarterback.
that random little bitty dude. He was tough though, wasn't it? Hinky, not Hinky.
Hinky, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was solid.
He was a little short. He was tough though, but he took him down. But I
Was
want to
Hinky
say
the Cowboys one? Was Hinky the tough guy from the Cowboys?
they had Dalton and some other dude who I don't know. They had a little bitty quarterback. I don't know what his name was. I can't think of it. He don't start the most, but he played tough against the Bucks. They got that elite level defense because they the only team I think got something that I can say. The Cowboys got elite offense, and the Washington football team have an elite defense, and everybody else is just like mediocre everywhere else except Washington don't have an offense, and Dallas don't have a defense. So, and everybody else just mediocre everywhere else. So it's like a weird division.
It is super weird division, and then like even the teams that are like mediocre or whatever, like they wake up for you. They wake up for each other. They wake up for every. You're not about to just get a blowout in these division games. So, on paper, I guess Dallas is supposed to be the best team.
That's if Dak's shoulder not hurt.
Yeah, we've been hearing that he's got a strain in his arm, his throwing arm.
All
so
I'm gonna say is I'm gonna pick Dallas if Dak healthy. If not, going to Washington because I'll just pick somebody that got something elite. So you gotta pick somebody that got something elite. And I don't know about the Eagles coach yet. And I'm sorry, the Giants coach just make them run sprints. I don't. Maybe he's good. Maybe.
We're about to find out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. NFC North. Aaron Rodgers returns.
Packers. I don't have nothing else to say about that division.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm done. So NFC West, that's actually an interesting one.
Oh, that's the best
49ers. Decent, potent offense, a good offensive coach. Got a little controversy at quarterback, quote unquote, but Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think he's anything to just sniff at. So obviously this,
he don't lose though. It's weird. Like you see him, and every time he plays, it's like he always wins. He don't even do nothing special. He just wins, and I'm like, how do you like? He don't play, they lose. Look at that record when he played versus when he don't. They barely lose when he plays, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, he is constantly hurt. And especially in a tough division like that, when you got Seahawks. I mean, that's Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson and company. You got him, and he's an elite passer. They say now. You got the young boy out of Arizona at quarterback. He's shifty, and they calling him Mike Vick and stuff. And he throws a heck of a ball. What's that quarterback name is in Arizona? Kyler Murray. He's a bad boy. I like him. Can he stay healthy? That's what we want to figure out. And then who is the other team?
The Rams.
Seattle 49ers.
The team I'm picking that I'm thinking might win it.
Arizona Rams. And the Rams.
Matthew Stafford, a dog, and he was just stuck up there in Detroit where Hall of Fame careers go to get die. Speaking of Hall of Fame careers, let's talk about. If you don't believe me, Barry Sanders retired at 28 because he's like, y'all trash. One of the all-time lead rushers, multiple 2,000-yard season, like, y'all trash, I'm quitting. Kevin Johnson was on his way to, he broke every record Randy Moss broke. And like, y'all so trash, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford was throwing out 4,000 yards a year, and nobody watched it.
Like, this is literally the year that Matthew Stafford, which was my pick as we're about to move on to the AFC. Matthew Stafford might actually be going somewhere and being happy. I mean, I don't think he wanted to wake up in Michigan every day. Shout out to Michigan, but hey, I'm an Ohio State fan, but also, man, Detroit is kind of what it is, man. Shout out to my people that I know from there, but there's a reason why y'all relocating other places, trying to take them over. But yeah, Matt Stafford, that's a great addition. McVay is a good coach, so
I'm worried though.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I'm worried. Cam Akers got hurt too. I ain't like Cam Akers getting hurt.
That's hurt. A big blow.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big money guy too.
But they got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and all they needed was an offense that could do something. And then they got a quarterback that's in Detroit threw for 4,000 yards. I ain't gonna lie.
Can he stay healthy?
I didn't know. Hey, if he could survive, his line is a lot better than it was in Detroit. Bro, this is the point. We just went over the NFC North, and we just like Green Bay. I let Joe get one where Aaron Rodgers gets back with the Packers, and I said I'm picking Green Bay, and we ended the whole conversation. That's how I feel about Detroit. Detroit is horrible. The Bears' offensive line is atrocious. Minnesota going to be a decent team, but they ain't beating Green Bay. They not that talented. Green Bay got Aaron Rodgers. That's all they need to win their division. Nobody else is special. Shout out to Kirk Cousins for getting that bag, though.
Oh, a beautiful bag.
Yeah,
a Birkin. He got a Birkin.
Matt Stafford is, I think, might be the... Because LeVay been talking crazy right now. LeVay in conferences. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had golf. We got it now.
And I never necessarily thought golf was bad. It's just like he's gone to a Super Bowl.
He a play action quarterback. People got to realize who a play. We're going to talk about y'all in a minute, but you got to play. He was a play action quarterback. Without the play action, he wasn't good. When Ty Gurley played well, Jared Goff played well. When Ty Gurley was hurt, Jared Goff didn't play well. We're going to talk about somebody else that I'm going to warn somebody about later on in a minute when we get to the AFC. But who you got winning the NFC before we get off the NFC? Or you want to say somebody else about the NFC West? You can say
I have nothing else. I don't have a man. That's a tough one. NFC West. Let's talk week 6 or 7, and I'll have a better idea for you. I think that division is probably the closest in football right now, as far as great teams. So the closest in football, great teams, is the NFC West, and the closest in football, as far as trash teams, is the NFC East, because they're just way too different skill levels. NFC West is the superior conference, if you ask me. But I kind of want to go, since we were just talking about Stafford. As a Colts guy in Indiana, I wanted Matt Stafford. I did not want Carson Wentz. Now, I settled on Carson Wentz because I was like, he's not bad. We were talking MVP about him before he got hurt, before that magical Super Bowl run. We're talking Colts, Tennessee, Texans. I mean, y'all know how we feel about the Texans. So we're not even going to discuss the Texans. And then we have Jacksonville. So at this point, it's the Colts versus Tennessee. In my eyes, I'm going to root for my Colts. Although the Tennessee Titans had a huge wide receiver pickup in the offseason. So with already an okay defense coached by Matt Vrabel of the New England Patriots three-peat back in the early 2000s. Offensively, is just now we got to see what Ryan Tannehill, are you going to be that guy I thought you were in Miami? So Wentz, healthy Wentz, I'm going Colts. Unhealthy Wentz, I'm still going Colts because I like the backups. So what's AFC South?
Y'all got two big losses though. Wentz with the foot, and then Quentin with the same foot. When they got the same foot problem, and that's a Pro Bowl safety y'all missing right now. He gonna be out till probably week 4, and then he got to get back in shape because he's missing the whole preseason. Wentz got the same.
We do just fine without safeties. As long as they come back by the playoffs, we're good.
You saw picking up Leonard though. That linebacker position secure. Great defense by the Colts. Jacksonville's gonna be Trevor Lawrence show. I don't know how good he's gonna be. I didn't even talk about him a minute ago. I should, but I don't know. It's hard for me because I think he's talented. He was proclaimed the first overall pick in 8th grade. So he's talented. Like Like if you and then he won championships, so that's kind of hard. But the problem with them is that's Jacksonville at the end of the day. So
Jacksonville puts together scrappy teams that don't go away. And he might be that one, like if their win margin is by 3.5 points or something this year, like it's because the Trevor Lawrence effect. But he doesn't have Clemson's offense anymore. He doesn't have all those speedsters and halfbacks and running backs and wide receivers that's all over the place. They don't have them anymore.
He got his running back. They drafted his buddy.
Okay.
But the Colts got an amazing defense. Houston got a whole lot of problems going on. We done talked about Houston problems the whole season. Tennessee, this is the warning. Ryan Tannehill's a play-action quarterback. That's why I want to mention it later on. Please do not try to make him into Aaron Rodgers or somebody that's going to Patrick Mahomes. And, look at all these receivers we got. Run Derrick Henry. Hit him on a play action. Baker Mayfield is a play action quarterback too. Don't believe me? When he was trying to throw it to all those super weapons he had, Joe, what were they doing?
Not catching them.
But he was kind of throwing out of bounds and they couldn't get it. Odell Beckham, these great all-American receivers, tight ends all over the field. All of a sudden they got 2 running backs, Joe. What happened? What happened before and after?
Let's say this. We agree, I think the Colts, but Tennessee, I while you're there, let's go to AFC North. Because I think that's the more.
I didn't say who I picked when we were gonna go. I'm gonna pick. It's hard because I don't know what they're gonna do. But I'm gonna do it like this. If they stay with Derrick Henry, Tennessee will win. If they don't and try to be a passing team, the Colts will win. And it's hard to tell what they're gonna do after that first preseason game because they didn't really play the starters. So, and that's I'm like, I can't. But we're gonna revisit this at the first pick of the season because we're gonna know more about the offenses and stuff. But right now, with preseason early pick, I'll go with the Colts because I think Burber might get past happy.
Keep in mind that they both have 4 wins. Both Tennessee and the Colts both have 4 wins. They both should beat Jacksonville and Texas, or the Houston Texans twice.
It'd be hard if Deshaun were playing, but I don't think he's playing this year.
I have no idea, but I'm not even going to go with that part of it on the strength that, their defense, nobody wants to play. I don't feel nothing coming out of Houston. No, there's no energy coming out of Houston. Houston sports in general, we talked about this. The Texans have zero motivation, and the only person that wants to play for anything in Houston right now is John Wall. I think he's the only one that actually wants to play.
The is looking like they ready to ball.
It's all theirs because don't nobody else want to play.
Yo, they got 3 good rookies though, but then we ain't talking about today. We'll talk about that next week.
So, moving on.
AFC North, right?
You brought up Baker Mayfield. This is a very interesting AFC North, unlike the NFC North, which is not interesting at all. The AFC North, we're talking Ben Roethlisberger and Pittsburgh Steelers no longer has his center anymore. This is probably the hang him up year for Ben Roethlisberger. Honestly, he may even be taking a seat at some point for Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. Dwayne Haskins made 1 bad pass in the preseason. He was 11 for 12, 1 overthrow. Other than that, I think he played pretty good. Then you got Baltimore. That's they are what they are, swagger, and we're hoping that COVID doesn't take that big of a hit on Lamar Jackson after getting it twice. So hopefully he doesn't have lingering effects from lightning striking twice. You got Baker Mayfield in the game. Good running game, good wide receivers, pretty damn good defense that got better this year. You got them, and then we always miss like the worst ones: Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and who are we missing in this one?
We forget them the 3. Cincinnati. We forgetting the team that don't play with Cincinnati.
Sorry, yeah. We talking 5-11 teams here. 5-11-1 teams. My bad. Teams that tend to tie. We don't really remember them. So Joe Burrow, he's back, and they got new uniforms. So There's that.
Joe Burrow's a dog, but that offensive line
He's a
got
dog.
him hurt. My man you see him against the Redskins. One team you gotta block. One team you don't put your quarterback in danger is the Redskins. I know we dissed them because the offensive trash, but Chase Young, them dogs.
That front seven is great.
Kerrigan, ain't your boy on the team, ain't
he? He's on the Eagles now.
Oh, he's on the Eagles now. Well, did he even start last year for the Redskins though?
He was a pass rush specialist. He was a third down guy.
But that offensive line, that defensive line was nasty. They got after you, and he got Joe Perro's got. Did you see how Chase Young hit that boy? I said, Redskins front seven, the first front seven I've seen in years that I feel like play old school football where they want to hurt somebody. But it's like there's not that many teams at this point. The Buccaneers showed us that they want to do that towards the end of the season for sure. That they was a tough defense, but so I mean that leaves you with honestly 3 viable teams this year for the AFC North. I mean, second best conference.
Second best conference to NFC West, you would say?
Yeah, NFC West don't even have a weak team to me. I'm sorry,
they don't.
Cincinnati a weak team, and Pittsburgh kind of on the fence because I don't know how Big Ben gonna look.
So that's a top heavy in a sense conference there. Who takes it home? Is it your boy Lamar?
I'm going.
Or is it going to be the chosen one, the bad boy up in Cleveland?
I'm going with the Browns. They're running game tough, defense tough. They might get Odell to be ready. If he set his role, they'll be even better because he got to understand Baker he's a smaller quarterback. He needs the running game. You have to run the ball, and then he's very effective. If he doesn't do play action, what is his percentage? I forgot. I had it earlier, like last when I was gonna do Monday morning quarterback on them before I decided to do. I had his number, but it's not in my notes right now. But yes, when he play action, he's very efficient. When he doesn't play action, he's not efficient. So Odell, understand your role and play on the team, and maybe get traded to the Patriots. But if you're not happy, but if everybody does their role, I think Cleveland wins because I think losing your left tackle and giving them to your rival team is horrible. But I do think the Ravens and maybe even Pittsburgh make a wild card, especially since they added another wild card team. They added 3 now.
So for me, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson with improved throwing, and it didn't go help him really at wide receiver because I think he needed a bigger wide receiver. But that didn't happen for the most part. So I'm gonna have to edge it out to Cleveland.
And I'm sorry, I know.
And if they were to meet, but I think that there's an opportunity for there to be one of those teams be a wild card though.
I think one of those is gonna be around. And my problem with Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh could get it, but I'm sorry. It's Ben gonna go out like Drew Brees. Because if he do, they ain't got the Saints defense. Pittsburgh does not have the Saints defense to carry him to the playoffs anyway. Is he gonna go off with Big Ben? Is he gonna go off like Drew? Because y'all saw Drew, that defense, Saints defense locked Tom Brady and them up. And they caught a pick. DeMario Davis, my cousin, shout out Brandon, Mississippi, caught the pick. Was celebrating. Next play, Drew Brees threw an interception. So is this Big Ben's? Because at the beginning of the year, what were they 10-0? I think they were 10-0. So if they be 10-0 and then he end the season like he did, I don't know. So they up in there for me.
I'm with you on that. I just don't see it coming from Big Ben. I don't see the magic. I think we might get some glimpses, but man, go enjoy your family, dog. You played a good career, Super Bowl under your belt. Thank you.
2 Super Bowls, so
heck of a rookie year. Nobody saw you coming. You were a tight end, and it was like, oh, he's a tight end about to play quarterback in the NFL.
Yo,
Play well.
I'm gonna give you flowers. We know we kind of dissing you, bro. You won 2 Super Bowls. Tom Brady prevented everybody in your era outside of Eli from winning 2 Super Bowls. Who else got 2 Super Bowls in the league besides Big Ben and Tom Brady? Tom Brady literally got 7. Everybody else, Eli got 2, beating Tom Brady, which is crazy. Ben Roethlisberger got 2. Who else? Nobody, no other quarterback got 2.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what's up. But I mean, you're a different quarterback. Everybody wants to play long like Tom Brady. Not everybody plays like him, which is protect yourself and have a really good offensive line most of the time. The only time you've ever seen Tom Brady be harassed is when he was playing against the Giants. So I don't really typically see him get harassed, except for the Saints did early in the season last year get to him. But yeah, I got to edge it out to the Browns just because, just a more complete team, and just because I do have my questions still about Lamar Jackson and his receivers. I'm not going to say it's his accuracy per se. I will say that some of his receivers, they tend to not make the big play when they need them. He does not have a Randy Moss. He does not have the receivers Tom Brady has. He doesn't have any of those. So I'm gonna edge it out to the Browns, but there's a good chance that the Ravens could be a wild card. So, I mean, you always going to be dangerous when you're in the playoffs, but so far the Ravens have not been dangerous when it comes to Lamar Jackson. For sure, they have not been dangerous. So, AFC East, that's Bill Belichick in the game.
Yeah, Buffalo.
That's Buffalo. That's the Jets.
This is the most interesting division.
That's the Dolphins.
I'm looking forward to see what Zach Wilson can do with that horrible organization. Probably not much. So we're going to discount them. Okay. We got New England.
Cam Newton, Mac Jones. That's the real story. Who's going to be the guy that takes the snaps towards the end of the season?
Cam going to start.
Will it be because Cam was that bad? Will it be because Cam got hurt and then Mac Jones was in there and then Cam is back? Who knows? What? I can't call it.
I think Mac going to be the one that don't play this year. Out of the quarterback.
I say you give Cam every opportunity this year.
It's not. I don't even care. I just think at this point, Cam Newton didn't have weapons last year at all.
He did not.
Like
nor full preseason.
I watch Harry, and I probably N'Keal Harry just dropping passes, and he young. He got a chance to explode and be better. So I'm not gonna like just end him right now because receivers do get better if you don't. Cam Newton had Ted Ginn looking like an all-star after Ted Ginn, and I promise you had years of get him off the field. But he got some tight ends now. He got a running game. The defensive players came back for that was gone last year. New England is very dangerous. Miami with Flores down there. If they said Tua was injured. Now he's healthy. Now he can make them long throws because it used to be just dump. And it wasn't working. And their defense is elite. Xavier Howard want to get traded. They got 2 elite corners, which is rare because most teams don't have 2 elite corners and a good front 7. So that team is dangerous. And then you got the team that won it last year, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, probably the best quarterback in the division. I think they take a step back, though. But does that mean they won't win the division? I'll let y'all know after Joe give his thought.
It's a very interesting division. It's a very competitive one. I think it's that mid-level. So we have the NFC West as the high, and then you have the NFC East as the low. That mid-tier of competition, I think you have it right here in the AFC East. I think that it's going to be tough because it's people playing. People are going to have good football teams. You're going to have to win on all 3 levels of the game. And all 3 of these teams are capable of doing that, whether that's more coach intervention or maybe you have better players. It's all going to come down to a mix of all of it. I want to put my faith in that Bill Belichick makes a comeback, especially after watching Tom Brady. So I want to say Bills, but I'm going to roll the dice with Bill Belichick.
I'm shocked. It's a tough one for me. The Bills, I said they take a step back. I think they get one of those wild card spots though. But I'm gonna put my faith in Alabama, boy. Joseph, I'm gonna put my faith in two because the other one is there. I think Waddle coming will help Tua, and I think if Tua play well, they win the division by an inch. But I'm scared now because that was my pick beforehand. But Xavier Howard wanting to be traded is kind of making me question it. But Xavier Howard said he's gonna be a professional and play, but he would like to be traded. So I'm not. I'll let y'all know after the season, but my preseason pick will be the Dolphins.
Very, very, very different, distinguishing. So make sure y'all keep up with that. The picks there. Make sure y'all keep up with that. We'll talk more football throughout the season, which I'm very excited.
I'll be here every Monday.
Absolutely. So that's where we're at. But before we completely move away from the NFL,
we got one more. We got one more. Don't forget the AFC West.
Oh, my bad. AFC West. Sorry, they're so blah. I'm just gonna say Raiders and be done with it.
Right?
Raiders? No. I'm sorry. And so here, let me give the division its respects. I'm sorry. I was ready to move on back to Atlanta. Kansas City. We love Mahomes. They're great. They're much better. So shout out to Zelmay for stopping me there because I almost made a mistake. I was thinking about the Raiders heavy because I do like them. I do like the Raiders.
Best quarterback division.
Denver, yeah, okay. And then you got who's that other team out there? AFC West.
Chargers. Justin Herbert. Best quarterback division to me. It's the best quarterback division. Only week when you got is Denver, but who else got 3 Pro Bowlers? I'm just saying. Let's go.
Last year, the Chargers just couldn't pull it out at the end, but they did everything that they could to be in the game. So, I mean, that's something to be said. Mahomes, he does have probably the best offensive line in football, and it still has all his weapons. So, I mean, the band's back together. So, I guess I got to say my favorite in that division is going to be Kansas City. I don't see a reason to not. The defense is intact as well. But I like John Gruden. I like what he does with quarterbacks. But this is Carr's last hurrah, I think, before they start thinking about what they're going to do for the future.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City. Kansas City. Do we get Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes for a third time before we leave?
We need that. The sport needs that. I mean, if Mahomes is going to be LeBron James and Pat Mahomes, and Brady just going to be equally LeBron James and just be coming every year too, it is what it is. If you deserve to be there,
we back to everybody in NFL. You remember everybody basketball, the same 2 teams. Well, apparently, everybody keep getting Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. We tired of LeBron and Steph Curry every year. Well, you might get Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady every year again. So
might get, at least for the next couple of years, at least that might be the case.
I'm saying, so y'all complain, now it's on football. Thank you for complaining so much. It happens now.
I appreciate it. Anything else before we go down to WWE?
Let's go back.
Go to the ring, and today, look at Sting up there. He's a lost soul. This is the opening contest live on Monday Night Show.
One of my favorite pages on Twitter is 80s, 90s wrestling. And I just put up vintage pictures and vintage photos of people doing stuff like Ric Flair doing things. One of my favorite things to watch was Sting come down from the Rafters so high in one of those arenas. And apparently down in the Mercedes-Benz arena, which is so interesting to me considering that it cost $1 million a day to stay there, that Kanye West there appeared to be a sighting where he was watching over a preseason game where the Falcons managed to put up 3 points. So the whole entire people are calling him the Phantom of the Mercedes-Benz dome. So this dude is having the wildest month I've ever seen somebody just be able to have. The accessibility for me that's what it is. It's the accessibility for me. Kicked out of soccer games that are at his house that he's renting. He's getting kicked out of these events. Like he can't come to the living room. So since he couldn't come to the living room, he's like, "Where's the rafters and how do I get up there safely? And then let me stand over this football game ominously."
He was just who else up there, bro?
Who does that? Like
that's clearly not a security guard. My guy is sitting there like, it's Sting. What time? I need to put this in 49.50. It's Sting.
yeah, and it's. I don't know what the hell is going on. If he's drawing inspiration, is he being a true guy-like figure? I don't know. I'm good with it. I'm 100% okay with it.
That pop
keep on doing
crazy, it. Bro. That had that Sting pop. People point up at the Rafters and Kanye with a big old long thing on.
Just looking. And like, then he doesn't go to Twitter or anything. He doesn't post a picture of like, look how high I am, or like I'm drawing it like some kind of beautiful ass quote. He's not doing that at all. Just stands there and then.
Omnibus. I can't talk.
Ominous.
Joe, I have had a
ominous.
Ominous. I've been recording like crazy for the last 3 days, so forgive me.
That's fair. You get a day off tomorrow, so I'm happy for you. A day-ish off. Who knows what else you got cooking up there? You was making history lessons last night, so about Black women. Make sure y'all watch that video, but we'll be sure to remind you guys again. Speaking of Black women, Naomi Osaka, man, her and the social and the media, period, not social media, but the media. They say a Cincinnati reporter bullied her during. This is her first interview since the French Open after she had to leave because of, she's like, hey, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this, mental health, all that kind of stuff. Here for it. Understand it. I get it. She sat there and took it like a G. She said, I feel like the reporter had a point in saying this. There was a point in time when if you wanted to get your thoughts out, you needed the media to do it. And they made the point of, I know you're not exactly fans of us, but at some point, is there a point where you can like at least deal? You know what I'm saying? Can you at least deal based off of the fact that we give you the platform to say what you want to say? Now, that's not as true as in the 1930s, where you could just throw out propaganda, pay somebody, say, hey, write this so people will believe it. You can go on your own social media and have 25 million followers, and then you tweet out what you think, and that's your word, unless you get hacked. But most of the time, that's your word and what you believe in. So the media doesn't exactly have as much power as they did before, and they may be trying to grasp onto that, but they do have a point in saying we are, in a sense, responsible for the things that are out about you. And the thing is, I think they're just grasping at that, what control they did have, because again, we're in a different world where I can be my own newspaper. I can tell the story about myself. Just like we have Kevin Durant and Draymond Green about to do a one-on-one interview that drops on YouTube on August 17th. That's them just talking candidly. So just like this show, honestly, you can check both out on YouTube, Overall 99 Media. But the athletes are taking back control of the narrative. But, I don't know if it's fair to criticize Naomi how she wants to deal with the media. But I mean, I do say with some things, you have to do some things just because that's how you get popular. But I think that the media had its jaws on her because not only was she, a good tennis player, but I think they were really focusing on the Asian American aspect of it, being Japanese and Black. That's a whole different aspect of it. Taking down, but I mean, she did have to take down the Williams girls. So I don't know if she's necessarily, she can feel how she wants to feel. I'm here for that. But I feel like maybe I'm more of a be in front of the media guy. I don't mind talking to people like that, but some people would mind that shit. Some people just want to play ball, and that's okay. So what's your thoughts on Naomi Osaka and how that whole situation was handled?
This is interesting because the media is harsh, right? Every athlete
can be. If they like you, they're not.
They typically, especially most places is hard regardless. Like if you're in New York, they trying to get that big story, so they don't care about nothing. A lot of people was hard on Aaron Rodgers until he told his side. I feel like the more open you are with them, the nicer they are to you. And the more
they can get more information, they feel like.
Yeah, so I'm saying your point is correct. That if they like you, they're not harsh. But most of the people they like tend to talk to them a lot, right? Like the media can't stand Kyrie. They can't stand Kyrie Irving at all. Marshawn Lynch is probably the only outlier because I think they think he's funny. But outside of that, the media, if you play a game with the media, they'll like you, blah, blah, blah. Kevin Durant was well loved until he stopped talking to the media. So, but Kevin Durant also the type of dude who just go out there and just start going off on everybody on Twitter who say random things. So it's kind of entertaining. But it's an interesting dynamic because, like as you said, we talked about it before, the media doesn't have the same amount of power, but they do pay the television contract, which is why the athlete does make that much money. U.S. Open wouldn't get that much money if whoever, CBS or whoever had it, didn't pay for it. You don't get paid as much. So, in a way, and the only way these companies get paid is if they get a good interview, most. All right? Because just putting it on TV is only so much that I can get out of that because we have to get paid through, because people don't realize how TV works. TV gets paid through advertisement. Advertisement goes through TV services and all through a bunch of avenues before it get to the channel, the station itself. It had to get paid through CBS. I know this because, again, the reason I'm explaining this because I had to do ads for television for politics at one time. So you had to talk to them how it works. So these ads go through this company, go through the radio station, the local station have to get paid. Then they have to get their cut and give their cut to CBS, and it goes on, and then they have to do all that. So the way they make a lot of money is the interviews, because the reporters write, and they get ads through click-through. They get ads through the website. They get a good interview. They get this recognition. So companies really push reporters to ask questions. Most of the time, the questions be stupid. Why? Because they don't have nothing to really ask these athletes. Like, once the first two people ask you something, you really don't have nothing, so you just digging. That's why you get the dumb questions they ask. Like, they ask Booker, are you tired of Chris Paul not doing... That's why you get those stupid questions. So people don't understand it. They lost. They don't really want to talk to you. You got to get some answer, and you be like, Chris Paul is playing horrible. Devin Booker, how do you feel about it? Like he's going to say something honest about it. But you might get a clip or some... You might get a clip for your page or something. So it's a lot of weird desperation stuff, and I have a whole thing on how the media works on my personal channel, so link in description. But yeah, it's a weird dynamic, and I get what she's doing because the media is stressful. Like, you got a bunch of lights on you, and some people are gonna say, I want to put out every argument. I'm not gonna try to be that long-winded because we got to get on this podcast. But like and subscribe, follow if you're on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, or whatever site you are listening to, hit that follow button. We appreciate it. But it's difficult because a lot of people say the same thing, and I want to get their point out. You kind of signed up for it. Like, and that's how, like, when you get famous and you do something to get famous, it comes with a certain scrutiny and jealousy that unfortunately people don't tell you about. I completely expected it when I was young because I saw Jason Campbell growing up, and you see Steve McNair, you see a lot of love, but you also see a lot of people who start just talking on your name just because you didn't do something for them. So I kind of understood it younger, but a lot of these people don't understand when you get fame, it comes with scrutiny. Random people on the internet that don't know you will critique everything you do. And unfortunately, in her position, they critique everything she do. When you Joe No Name, I didn't mean to say, Joe, but you know people use Joe's, wasn't it? But when you Joe No Name, people don't know who you are, so they don't care what you say. Joe No Name can just go out there and say any racist thing and people don't really care outside the height of the Black Lives Matter movement after they was getting everybody fired. But now Joe No Name say racist stuff and people like block him. We don't care about him. But once you get that fame, everything you do is getting critiqued and taken out of place, and that's how it goes, and it's tough. So it's tough for both people's sides, man. You don't want to say nothing that give them views, but they trying to get you to say something. So it's a difficult thing.
Well, I mean, in this case, I'm just gonna do what I'm best at, keeping her lifted up in prayer. That's all I can do. People been watching interviews and whatnot for lots of years. We've seen people like Lawrence Taylor give interviews and be pissed off at the media. We've seen all faces of it. But end of the day, especially with the youth, this generation for sure is more in tune with their mental health and all that kind of stuff. And people can be vulnerable. We don't have to be a tough guy all the time. I guess that's the point that is being made now. So we'll keep them lifted up in prayer. And there's really no really easy way to segue into this, but Soulja Boy wouldn't mind giving an interview right now to whoever wants it. He don't care. I guess I guess Soulja Boy trying to fight Aaron Carter, which okay. So Aaron Carter is the most annoying celebrity to me ever. He is the little brother of one of the Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter, who had that whole show with Nick and Jessica. That whole thing, that was cool. Aaron Carter, I heard one of his songs when I was a little kid, and they tried to push him. I never did it for me. I'd be watching Nickelodeon. There's a commercial for his album, and I'm like, oh, there's that blonde haired kid running around singing and shit again. He grows up, boom, it is what it is. And then I don't know. I'm sick of Aaron Carter. I'm not sick of Soulja Boy. Tell me Soulja Boy is going to fight anybody, I'm here for it. But
he just got whooped by Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom beat. Man, get off the drugs, kid. That's all I said about Aaron Carter. Get off the drugs before you start fighting people, because Lamar Odom put them hands on you. He put them paws on you, and I think Big Soulja gonna put them paws on you next, my guy.
I hope that's not the case. I mean, I hope it's because I didn't even know about the Lamar Odom thing. Matter of fact, it didn't even really trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You there wasn't even with Nate Robinson boxing. He got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So it was at least we had that. Even Ocho Cinco hung in there, and it was a pretty decent fight. Odom is an ex-addict who is also 6'9", the professional basketball player. Aaron Carter is not anywhere near 6'9", nor professional anything. Not even a professional entertainer. So I'm all for Big Soulja, but we've seen him back out of a lot of fights. He was supposed to fight one of them Paul boys before. They even had the whole let's pull up to Soulja Boy's house and nothing happened. Clickbait at its finest, but they went over there, got in each other's faces, and then that was the end of the video. So there was that. Which I can definitely see Soulja Boy definitely would have lost that fight easily.
He would have been the first Nate. He would have been Nate Robinson, but Soulja Boy would have been the first rapper.
He would have been the first rapper to get knocked out professionally.
Yeah. But
he would have been the first person to maybe actually say, I'm Big Draco for this reason. Because he was going to have to pull out that Draco if he was going to beat that boy. That's just
speaking of 6ix9ine talking about fighting Aiden Ross. You got in that. This ain't even in our notes. I just want to bring it because I just thought about it. And we ending the show real quick. So
why does Aiden keep getting into shit that I don't even understand his stream. It's what do you do, Aiden? And it's have random people come chill in my bedroom.
Hey, I'm not. Hey, full disclosure. Aiden Ross has probably put on my 2 Well, now probably my second and third favorite stream of all time. Well, not of all time, of this year at least.
That Tiana Trump interview was amazing. Or not interview, but the E-Date.
Yo, them dudes. Hey, watching thirsty dudes like go crazy. It's the most entertaining. I'm like, we got to do this, Joe. When I get my internet, we doing it. We putting random. We gonna find random dudes, and we just gonna put them in the court and let them go crazy. But it ain't gonna work the same though, cause I don't know no girl quite on that level of Tiana.
No, I like based off. I don't know if this is just a character of it. I don't know if there's the business of Tiana Taylor or if Tiana Taylor is really like this.
Tiana Taylor is happily married to Iman Shumpert. Just it's Tiana Trump. Only Trump we know.
Yeah, Tiana Trump.
I don't blame Tiana Taylor bad.
She's beautiful and much bigger ass. So, but Tiana Trump, we don't know if there's the business of it, if this is a character she puts out, so people continue to watch her videos where she does do these things that she's talking about. But Tiana Trump makes it seem like she will fuck you. So
I heard from a dude she pull up.
And that's cool. Like, I don't have a problem with that because she's from Indiana. She's actually from Lafayette. And it was like, no, we was really running through her. Like, so I got some homies. Shout out to McCutcheon High School. I got some homies that went there. Beautiful school, beautiful ladies.
She said 80 of them.
All I'm saying is that yeah, she was getting ran through, and it's like that's a true story. It's a true story. Like, yeah, I was getting ran through, and somebody's like, "Why don't you get paid?" I'd love to be a sophomore when she was a sophomore, so I could see like what put her into position. Like, my body is just gonna be my body, and I just need to know. But yeah, that's what I got for that. And then I mean, since we're still on that, you got any thoughts on Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley? That was definitely something I was gonna let you handle that boxing part of it, because I'm a boxing guy, but I don't keep up with it like you do.
August 29th, Tyron Woodley, the biggest threat Jake Paul has ever faced, the first person who has a chance to actually knock him out. Coming out soon. I'll probably do a Monday morning quarterback on him the week before the 29th, which will probably be the week after next, so next week. I'll have to look into it. But I'll probably do a Monday morning quarterback on that, because I don't think preseason week 2 or 3 going to be interesting. It depends on how the preseason go. If it's interesting, I'll break down some big plays. But if not, we'll talk about the Jake Paul fight. But Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, his first striker. Unfortunately, Jake Paul is gigantic, and Tyron Woodley is not. So
that is something like I did not know their size comparison. So like that's where I would not have been any good.
Tyron Woodley is what was he? Was he a light heavyweight? I think Tyron Woodley was like a light heavyweight, and that's usually around one. Let's see, what is the weight? Tyron Woodley is like a light heavyweight. I think he goes around 160 pounds when he was in Missouri. What was he in UFC? He walks around at 5'9", 170. He's the welterweight, not like it's the one below it, so right before it. So he walks around at about 170. Jake Paul walks around at about, his boxing weight about 190, his regular weight probably 210. And that's a 30 to 40 pounds of difference.
So the difference that's going to have to make up for that gap is going to have to be experience and actually being a professional boxer or a professional fighter, if you will.
Yeah. And Tyron Woodley only 5'9". Jake Paul is, I think, 6'1". I think Jake Paul is probably more used to boxing naturally. Tyron Woodley is a striker, but at times he has that same problem. I'm looking to see if he had the same problem Ben Askren had. The problem Ben Askren had was when he goes up to you, when you strike, he goes for the takedown. Because usually you throw a jab. If you throw a long jab in striking, they usually open up and go for the takedown. That hurt Ben Askren. Ben Askren got knocked out from it. So that was a big problem for Ben. And I'm looking to see if Tyron had that same instinctual. Because Ben and Tyron been doing it for what? Tyron 39. Ben was 40 something. They've been doing it for 20 years. It's hard to just break a habit of something you used to in 20 years. So I'm interested to see if he can actually break it, because Ben Askren couldn't. He got pieced up. I'll let y'all know Monday morning quarterback who I think will win with a full breakdown. So I'm looking forward to that.
So before we get out of here, I definitely want to say, make sure y'all check out Monday Morning Quarterback. It is every Monday. He broke down the Tim Tebow block gate. He broke down Blockgate. He broke down some Kansas City film down there. I mean, not Kansas City, but
all three records, basically.
He just breaks down whatever, some of the better plays, the most talked about plays. Definitely leave comments here and leave comments on Monday Morning Quarterback of any other plays you would like a breakdown of. We can 100% do that. And also, there was a nice little I want to say S-word essay given out from Zell May today, forever being an S-word. For those who don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I just started getting heavy onto Twitch, so now I'm getting new lingo. So I'm just trying it out at any chance that I get. And we have some more topics, but man, we have so many shows and we can spread them out. So we'll get into some other stuff on what's new 99. Might be a little bit of a heavier episode, or hell, we might give y'all a special tomorrow we are quote unquote off tomorrow, but who knows? You might hear "Have you heard?" "Have you heard?" might drop. Something crazy might happen. I might have to gossip. We may do another special episode of this Zell Theory. He just be waking up and doing them just randomly, so you never know when that's coming. Do You Hear Me is back now that I got my haircut and my beard trimmed up and everything. Do You Hear Me will be making his comeback this week, so I'm excited for that. Thursday, Friday, this weekend, plenty for y'all to watch, but definitely watch these throughout the week. Overall 99 Media. I am Unico Williams. Zell May, any last thoughts, my brother?
I'm gonna take him out on. We're gonna preach a little bit. You see. Sometimes life is hard, Joe. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you gotta keep stomping, because the devil will try to take you out of here. And to keep stomping means you'll take some losses. Sometimes you'll look good. And them rookie quarterbacks gonna look good, Joe. But when week one come and them starters come in, they ain't sitting there. Week one was so bad Dak wasn't even on the sideline. That's how much it don't matter. So when they get hit, you might be taken out. But keep stomping. Why? Because at the end of the day, you might turn to Patrick Mahomes. You might turn to Aaron Rodgers. Joe, what did Ty Hill say about Patrick Mahomes when he first got there? Why did we draft this kid? What in the world were we thinking? And then he said by week 8, I'm like, oh my God. So if you want to, oh my God, after training for so long, going through it, grinding, maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's Twitch, maybe it's whatever, you keep stumping. Then something amazing can happen. Let's get out of here. We too long.
Peace. It's like the longest episode ever.
And we didn't even get half the topics. Peace. Love y'all.